why the Foodverse or the UAE Foodverse is important and why we have to look into that, because we all had heard about metaverse technologies in the last years, but there's a reason why, particularly now is a time we have to look into that. And therefore, just want to take in a small journey. That's one very important part. And this is more about why do we do that and what are we facing in the future. So the most important part about the UAE Foodverse is actually a platform which collaborates with stakeholders, key players, with consumers, especially to explore the new technologies of immersive 3D media. Why is that important? There's something most of the industries are currently facing. This is the situation, most likely everybody had heard of that, the Gen Z. So that's a generation which is actually following the millennials, or my generation, which is Gen X. I know we heard about that, and also I know that there is some experiences with the younger generations in the industry. There are also some ideas. We are facing some struggles with younger people, and why is that? And we have to look into that part because this is something which comes towards us, and we can't go around that. And I just want to show you something. Maybe you know it, maybe you don't. So what we have here, in the next year, 2025, we are expecting that 28% of the global workforce is represented by Gen Z. The number is 910 million people. So that moves to 2030 to a participation of 49%, which is 1.5 billion people. And how does that work? The Gen Z actually begins in the birth year 97 to 2003. That's the first important batch. These are the people who are currently part of our workforce, and they're entering our workforce as we live today. These, by the way, are already the people where we are like kind of struggling with their work-life balance ideas and how they go to work and how they see social media, and most of the industries are really struggling in that generation. They're like, oh, that's complicated. This is nothing. That's the batch number one. We call them early adopters. What's going to happen now? Now we are getting the second batch, batch number 2. Born 2004 till 2008. We consider them as digital natives. So they're going to come to 2025, 2030. So if you think you had a problem with the batch 1, no, wait for batch 2. Batch 2 is a digital native. That means he has been grown in digital environments. He is very used to immersive environments and very digital environments, like also social media. So they have a different perspective how they consume information. Just keep that in mind. They're coming now. Really funny is batch number 3. These are the ones born between 2005 and 2012. We call them tech integrated or virtual natives. If you think batch 2 will be complicated, no, wait for batch 3. Batch 3 will challenge the entire industry. We're going to face a situation where our younger generations are used to consume information in digital environments. This is totally different from the way we were living, especially my generation. So this is one part important. Why do we need new technologies? Now I want to take you to something new, because there's a phenomenon out there. Most likely everybody have heard of the fact, since a couple of years we are facing a trend which I call the new era of food awareness. So finally, for decades people didn't really care what they eat. But now, thanks to social media, and thanks to the desire for food awareness, people are really going out and they want to understand what they eat, they want to understand where it comes from, they want to see the ethical practices behind it. They are now getting food picky. That's interesting. Also in combination with the latest marketing approach, which is storytelling. There you have a very interesting combination. So now people walk out there in social media, they share their personal experiences about a particular food situation, nutrition, whatever it is. It's not about advertising. These people talk about food, and their fans believe what they say. Think about that combination. So you have to rethink how you want marketing. You have to rethink how do you address your consumer. You have to rethink that people are now starting to look into nutrition. How does that affect my life? And if you all know, if I go to social media, literally I cannot eat anything anymore. Because one guy will tell me you can have eggs, the other one don't eggs, no water, no this. This is a critical situation. The consumer gets really confused. At the moment, there's a lot of confusion out there. And I know it's like growing slowly, but as you know, it can accelerate very fast. So what can we do? So based on these two facts, that we have generations upcoming, we have to take care for. They are not the problem. We are the problem. And we have to be not so stubborn, go away and think about how can we prepare a life and a workforce where they feel familiar, where they feel happy. We cannot be so stubborn and say, oh, it doesn't work with them, I don't do that. No, we have to prepare that. And therefore, the Foodverse is a very nice experimental project where companies can start to investigate and experiment on 3D immersive technologies. So as you see, for example, food awareness is pretty clear, nutritional values, sustainability, ethical practices. And the 3D environment, and there it comes, the 3D environment allows you to give your product a voice. This is far more than in the past using conventional marketing strategies. You can start to engage with the client. You can build immersive environments where the consumer can really get a character of your product. You can give your product a voice. You can talk about who you are, how you produce, what's the ethical practices, how do you take care for your people. And this is the possibility, especially the food sector, how you can really build a character for your product. And in the food business, compared to other businesses, it's more important that people really build a relation to your brand. Therefore, they are recurring consumers. It's not important that they find a 3D environment where they can purchase a product. It's important that they really feel comfortable with your product. So use these technologies, since 3D immersive environments are so full of potential and they're so full of possibility how to market a product. So I can go through the points, but definitely strong brand relation. I think in a combination of storytelling and immersive environments, there's opportunity really to build strong relations between the consumer and the product. So, and the opportunities for brands and consumers, let's go through that. We are facing creating new point of sales. It is certainly a new point of sale. On the other side, it's a very good opportunity to build relations with your clients. The accessibility of metaverse technologies are actually, they're like, how you call that? They're like all surfaces possible, multi-surface, that's the right word. So accessible via web, mobile, and VR. VR, of course, that's the champions league, because the virtual environments, if you access them through VR, can really immerse you. So there are a lot of opportunities you can add to products. You can have storytelling, video, voiceover. You can engage with the client by visualizing several information or by animated content. And this is, by the way, one of the most important parts. We're facing a future where we have to gamify information. And this is also the part which actually the F&B group is now walking out this, trying to gamify their information, and gamified information are far better consumable by the users, and especially by the younger generations which are used to consume information. So, build brand awareness. I mean, these opportunities we have today, I know most of the industries think they can wait. I'll tell you something, I wouldn't do that. I would not wait. There were people waiting for the internet, we don't even know the names anymore. The ones who were waiting too long for new technologies finally disappeared. That's what it is. And the other side is any new startup coming now into the food industry can just leverage the fact that they know how it will work in the future. They will not touch any of the conventional marketing strategies you have ever used. They will step directly into new technologies. And this is the way how you can build brand awareness for your brand. So therefore, the Foodverse is exactly walking that path, opening a platform where companies, stakeholders, governments, educational bodies can help, can investigate, can experiment on their part, and learn and prepare the future for the younger generations, because that's our job, not theirs. Oh, this actually, I had this slide. Okay, so, I mean, we went through that. All I want to say in that part, because I have 1 minute left, that's what. We move on, yeah. These are like hidden slides, actually, yeah. Nice. So, that's not good. No, finally what I want to say is, it's hard to understand because the story of Metaverse have been played quite a while, quite often in the past, especially in the UAE. This time we see something different. This time it's more about using the current technology, using the potential of 3D environments to build engagement with your consumer, with stakeholders, with key players, and also with potential for the recruiters. I mean, you need staff, you need recruitment in the future. How do you want to recruit properly? We really, all of us, have to think, what can we do that the younger generations feel comfortable? And I tell you something, if you think you solved the problem by doing some little things for Gen Z batch 2, and then, oh wow, I'm going to be prepared for batch 3, no. Then you're facing batch 1 Gen Alpha. And if you want to know who these kids are, these are the kids right now with their iPads playing Fortnite and Roblox the entire day. These are the ones who don't even use social media. They're remaining in their 3D environment, they communicate with their friends, they consume information. The entire marketing strategies are happening in these 3D environments. Just on our side, we don't even see that because we think that's a nice thing to do with the kids, give them an iPad, let them play, I got some free time, perfect. Look into that, what they do. And that generation is really hard to manage. And the only way that we really prepare their future in our lives, in our work, in our businesses, we have to build steps. And we have the chance now, by using such technologies, to learn and to understand how do I immerse my client, how do I build relation to my consumer, how do I onboard my new employees, how do I onboard my new joiners, how do I learn how that works, and how do I make sure that the younger generation wants to work in my company. Because if you just ignore that, you might face the fact in a couple of years that nobody wants to work for you. Because innovation is something very important for everyone who does a job. Thank you for your attention.